as the boss, keep an eye on me, the overseer. Hi there, folks. Welcome back to another episode of Michael in the Backyard. There's puddles. It rained today while I was at work, and it made some areas soft, and some areas are still bone dry. It's like it didn't rain everywhere. Weird. But we got some, it's hard to tell in here, but there's some dark clouds off in the west heading our way, and we're currently underneath a tornado watch. So that seems like the perfect time to fire at Big Mo. So I got some touching up of some things to do around the yard, other destructive things that Mo has done. When I knocked down a big tree, which I didn't capture, I should have. But it was one of those things, if it went sideways, I didn't want any witnesses. That's true. The dead tree been dead standing in our front yard for years. My wife kept bugging me to get rid of it, and I'm like, it's not doing anything. If I knock it down and drop it on the house, it's a liability. Mother Nature does it, and she gets a free pass on stuff. Anywho, what I'm going to do today in this video, we're going to start off by firing up Big Mo. I'm going to scoop a black dirt. A few videos back, I dug some big old holes for some Susan Magnolias over there, and I put some plants in it, and I never did really fill it back in properly. So I'm going to scoop up some black dirt here. I tore up the front yard a little bit. We're going to fill in a few scarves there. And that'll be enough to warm up Mo here so I can get back under it and change the oil. We're going to do engine oil, transmission oil, rear end oil. We're covering all that. So let's get you up here on the tractor with your normal, beautiful bird's eye view of things. And we'll go from there. Come on, Big Mo, let's go. Fire in the hole. Ah, starts up so beautifully. Now these two here have done really well. This one still has one green leaf. This root ball has never touched dirt, but it has one green leaf. A couple down here. We're gonna cover it in and see if we can bring her back around. Yep. Oh. Nutritious yet delicious soil. Shaw. Well, there we got a little touching up done in the yard, fixed some grooves in the front yard, got some more dirt around those Susan Magnolias. That one I think will come back. We'll see. It looks pretty dead, but it's got a little green piece. I told my wife, I said, I'll bet that one comes back. She just shakes her head. We'll see. I've got a brown thumb. We got over this way, that's straight west, some seriously dark stuff going on over there. The tornado sirens have gone off twice. What am I doing? I'm out here working on Big Mo. I already drained the transmission fluid and cleaned the plug off, and we got about that much. I don't know what that line is over there on it, but it's a certain amount. I want to take a look because I'm kind of curious how much, I got to put back in. We're down to a slow drip, so we'll go ahead and carefully get this back in center as to not pick up any grit or dirt. That feels real good, no grit. I must be getting good at this. Nice thing is we drained it when it's good and hot. It said in the book to get it warmed up, drain it, which I've done. What does that say right there? I can't see nothing, it's so dark. Need to get my light under here. Light. So that's 20 quarts, 16 quarts, 10 quarts. I'm not sure this is sitting so level. But what color? If that's 10, I'm gonna say it's 9 quarts of transmission oil. Sure, let's go with that. Now I'm gonna slide her back here and see if I can get the transmission oil. And it's just the next plug back. Pretty straightforward stuff. It doesn't say in the book I've got how much of quantity of each. Plug's a little less square, I'd say. Let's see if that's a better square there. Boy, somebody tightened the ever-loving poop out of that. No sense in that. Oh, I don't want that. Oh, I think I pull the chest muscle. Ow, that hurt a lot. Ugh. Bigger leverage. Ugh. Well, that storm came on in. It's still raining right now. It's about, 2 hours later. And yeah, there are puddles and mud everywhere out here. This won't dry out for another few days. So we're going to take advantage of this situation. Let's see if we can't finish draining the oil out of the old tractor. This adds another layer of difficulty to the situation. That's okay. I'll improvise, adapt, and overcome. Why aren't my lights working now? Well, as a little bit of bad luck would have it, over on that side, I got soaked with water. So I'm having to come out from the other side, which has a battery box, which limits my amount of space to work. Does this fit it? I hope. How screwed up is this square drive? Come on. Not great. For sure. Oh. Ah, what a pain. Why? The one corner's rounded off and boogered up both. So there's only one way I can get on it. Just gonna have to find my big crescent. Maybe they give me enough leverage. Maybe, just maybe. Well, nothing's working. We're gonna have to shut her down for the night and regroup. I'm not gonna work in this muddy mess, and it's frustrating, but tomorrow's a new day. We'll see you then. Well, I'm not quite sure where I left off on the previous video segment, but I have the Jeep out here now, my AKA backyard toolbox, boat hauler, overall general good vehicle. What is that? Sounds like a single cylinder old Johnny Popper tractor. Pop, 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 pop. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. Oh, it was an old John Deere. Well, you can hear those from a long ways away. Anyway, disappointment struck last time I was out here. Rained so hard. The storm was coming in, as you saw. Rained so hard, soaked everything. Water ran in under my tractor, soaked up my blankets. Just made a mess out of things. And I tried to get out here and do some more work, and it's like, just give up. So I did. Until a better day. It's still drizzly and rainy this morning, but not nearly what it was. So let's get back underneath the tractor here and get yourself situated and show you what I did. I had to try to come in from the other side, which, as you can see here, is a battery box. It hangs down just a little bit lower than this side. This side's way more accessible. And I have a square socket that I had, an old Craftsman one, but it was cracked. And it wouldn't fit on there well, so I welded it, used my hammer to tap it in place. And now we're gonna see if we can get this plug out, finally. Get some light on the situation here. This hose I need to address. I'm not sure what it goes to, what it does, but it's just hanging down there begging to get ripped off. I gotta do some investigation as to what that is. But first we're gonna get all these fluids changed, and then I'll deal with that problem. Let's see if I can get you guys in a position where you can see some of the action. And I had to buy one of these too. A big giant oil filter wrench. I didn't have one this big. This is for the transmission filter that's over here. I'll just get to that here in a minute. But I actually pulled a little bit of a chest muscle trying to break this one loose with a wrench. And that felt awesome. I don't hurt all the time, just when I move a certain direction. Oh yeah. It's really hard to beat impact and shock to do things. I ain't kidding you. That was so much easier than pulling a muscle. Now let's see if I can drop it all in the pan. Ooh, that's so black and dirty. Gloosh, gloosh, gloosh. It's got the same kind of plug on the other that had on the other one. It had a magnet on it, looks like. Similar to it. Oh, that smells gnarly. She's not bad dirty. She's just dark. Remember, we had 9 quarts in the transmission's what I drained out. And the other stuff came out really thin, but it was also hot. And I had this thing good and hot when I went to do this. But since then, the hotness has gone away. Wow, we're up to 15. So that makes 6 more quarts there. Hope this thing holds it off. This is a 5-gallon drain pan. She's starting to slow down a little bit now. Thank goodness, because I'm getting full here. The pan's almost up to 20 quarts. It gets to that line right there, it'll be 20 quarts. Oh my gosh, it's starting to pick up speed again. It's overflowing my pan. Stop the madness. It's overflowing my pan. Unbelievable. I would have never guessed it had that much in it. That's amazing. Now I gotta try to get this out of here. Wow, that's a lot of oil. I gotta dump it again. Holy smokes, I did not buy enough oil. Wow, it's getting toward the end. Well, let's just say there's over 10 gallons of fluid in the front, in the transmission and the rear end of this thing. Holy smokes! I won't call that drained enough. Well, that welded up socket worked perfect. Can't complain about that. Now we'll see if we can get this oil filter off. With my big wrench here. Oh yeah, easy peasy there. That's probably gonna make a little bit of a mess. I don't know. A little bit coming out. Oh my goodness. So much dirt up around the top of it, but inside looks clean. All right, I know this video's been jumping around a little bit, but I've been kind of in a, let's just say, not so familiar territory when it comes to oils and oil changes on a beast like this guy. So I've got all the oils drained. I got all new filters on, including engine oil. I got that drained, new filter on, new transmission filter on, and I ain't kidding you. Check this out. This is a big bucket. This is one of those big totes. Look how full it is of engine oil and transmission oil. Actually, that's not even the engine oil. That's just transmission and rear end oil. The engine oil is still in this container right here. So I did a little more research. So I bought some oil at Napa, and I was like, is this the right stuff? You know, I didn't have all the descriptions on it. And so I started reading some more online, trying to see what the new modern day oil is, because obviously nothing out there is going to say, hey, there's no books to look up, honestly, that I can find other than my old service manual. And it just has, like for here, the transmission oil this is a 4x4 power reversing. So it's got 4 gears, and then you got forward and reverse. It's like a shuttle shifter, forward and reverse. And it says a M-2C41-A. A would be the actual rev. So there's like an A, B, C, D as they got more and more modernized with that oil, is my understanding. And then the rear system, rear axle. Rear axle is an M2C53A. So then I started looking at one vlog says, hey, check it out. You go to Tyson's Tractor Supply, you know, your normal implement store type thing, big box implement store, and they sell this stuff. And this is some premium hydraulic Harvest King. Premium transmission hydraulic oil, multi-track formula for use in most applications. It says right here, meets John Deere J20C specifications and others. See back for full list. So you go to this back, and this list is huge. So we're looking for the 241, M2C41 and an MC53. So right here, if you go into, I saw it earlier, M-2C241B, and there's a 241 C41A. And we're looking. Anyway, that's the oil that's going in the transmission and rear end. That's all there is to it. And it takes a lot of it. I bought 3 5-gallon buckets. I'll use all but probably 2.5 gallons of it. First off, we're going to go ahead and stuff in some new. I got some 15W40 engine oil. God, there's mud in here. There's mud everywhere. It's sprinkling outside again. It's raining again right now. This would be easier if things are up in the air, but it settled down overnight, so I got to go with what I got. But I got a long funnel, so we can make it happen. Well, it looks like 6 quart brought it up to the full mark. Or actually, that was like, oh, what is that? Oh, yeah. We were at, yeah, let's call it 6 quarts. I'm going to put in a little bit more just to cover what the oil filter is going to take from me. That'll take us down to 1.5, so that'd be 2.5, that'd be 6.5 quarts. We'll see if that's enough to start it up and see where we're at. That's good enough for me. Now the part that I'm going to call a more difficult part was topping off the other 2 fluids. Because that's going to take a little bit of an exercise here. Because where they go is underneath this floor mat here. And honestly, I've never lifted this floor mat up to see what's under it. Looks like a couple of plates. Maybe. Oh no. Well, that's not so bad. I thought I was going to have to remove these 2 caps. They're not there. I need something to hold this up out of my way. Let's do that. It's just the job for a big wrench. I can put under here and wedge things back out of my way. Maybe not. This needs to stay back. Back, I say. Supposedly this is rear end and this is transmission. I'll take this noisy shop vac and clean out some of this dirt. It has a nice dipstick on it. That's good. One thing I know for sure is this one back here, rear end can take 5 gallons plus. I think it's a 9.5 gallon that it can handle, or 9, something like that. It's over 5 for sure. It's like 33 liters. I haven't done the math yet. See if I can get up in here and manage this 5-gallon bucket into the hole. Doesn't look like it's gonna be fun or easy. Probably should have some kind of a pump. Let's see if I can. Can't see nothing from this angle. There's 5. That didn't even get it to touch the dipstick. Let's add another 2 to 3 gallons into it. Wow, that brought it right up to full. That's the full mark. Now for the transmission, I gotta get a different wrench. Looks like that takes a 3/4 inch socket to break that loose. Another dip of sticker. Since this took 9 quarts, or 9 quarts, and I got 2.5 gallons there, maybe 2 gallons left. There's 8 quarts. Let's see if I can make that work. Not touching yet. All right, needs more. Must have more. Well, it's a little over full by about, I don't know, 1/2 inch. That's fine because we still got to fill that transmission filter up, so I think we'll leave it right there. We'll fire it up, let all the fluid levels fill up filters, and we'll go from there. Can't be mad at that. I'm not going to tighten up these plugs just yet. Let's go ahead and fire it up. More throttle. This shouldn't have changed much. I just shifted momentarily into forward and reverse, which shouldn't change this at all. Yep, she's good and full. It's right where we want that. This filter should have taken up some space here. Now the book did say to screw this one all the way down and back it out to check it. She's right at just about a 1/4 inch above the full mark. Was up here. I'm gonna call that good enough. That's full. Full is full. No need to overfill. I'm just gonna snug these back down a little bit, not over tight. They seem to be a little too tight before. Good enough. Not worried about a little bit of oil being under here. Just helps prevent some rust. Let's see how the engine oil looks now that I've fired it up. It was full till hair over full. It was actually over full. Just a hair under full. It's amazing how dirty it already looks. We'll add a little bit more. Whoa. Dodging mud puddles. There's a frog just crawled out of that new puddle. There's a green frog right there. There's another one over there. They're all over the place. It's like they got a new home. Well, the rain slowed me down a few days, at least for a day. We'll see how dried out it gets tomorrow. The good news is Big Mo's ready. We added in that little more oil into the engine, topped it off. Engine takes about 7 quarts of oil. And I think I figured up, what was it, 24 liters? I didn't translate it, I did once. Between the rear end and the transmission, it's like 33 quarts. 33 quarts total. It's a lot of quartages. So, you know, there's 20 gallons. 5 gallons is 20 quarts. So anyway, I ended up having to I emptied out 2 of these guys completely. And I got another one in the back of the Jeep that's probably got about 2.5 gallons in it. That's a lot of oil. But the good news is I won't have to do it for a while. Those things go a while. Now, even if I do like I do the engine oil, change it on half the service life as recommended. Looking at this one, let's see here. Engine oil, air cleaner, fuel injectors, fuel filter, rear axle oil. It's over in this column that says change every 1,200 hours. Transmission oil every 1,200 hours. I currently have 57 hours on it since I've had it. 1,200 hours is a lot. 600 hours at half-life would be half of that. If I did it at half, would still be a lot of hours. If I've only put 50 on it and I go 600, holy smokes. But anyway, I like to keep it. Now I know where all the hydraulic oil is at, as far as, not hydraulic oil, the transmission oil, engine oil. I know what condition it all is in. There's a lot of peace of mind there, knowing that I'm not just running on somebody else's neglect possibly, but obviously it doesn't look like that's the case with this tractor. Previous owner had, I think, done some regular maintenance on it, as it were, so that's good news. That's really good news. I can't do any digging today. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys and gals and everybody. I've had a lot of fun. There's been some frustration there dealing with some of the weather, but now sun's out, it's getting hot. So hot, but the high tomorrow is supposed to only be 72. And if this continues to dry out a little bit, so I can get out here, I'd really love to move a lot more dirt. And on the next video, I'm gonna do a little more work with the Transit, get some more numbers marked out around here and get after moving some dirt. And I'm probably gonna bring Blue Thunder into action here real quick, because a lot of the dirt is going from here to the other side of the yard. What's my left hand doing? Going from here to the other side of the yard. It'd be nice just to fill up a dump truck here, drive the dump truck around, dump it, instead of a lot of slow trips back and forth with the tractor. That's my goal. Let me see if I can find my sister-in-law's dog. Hold on. Hey, Jack, come here. Jack. He went down in the ravine here. Hope he didn't run off. Well, I'll have to locate that dog. Have you got Jack? Yeah. Thank you. Well, folks, I'll call it a wrap on this video. We got a lot more work to do here. This is Michael saying, if it ain't broke, fix it till it is. Stay comfortable. Stay good to one another. And if I'm lucky, I'll see you in the next video. It's Michael, and I'm out.